The moment I opened the door to our living room, I knew something had changed. It wasn't the way she smiled. Emily always smiled with practiced ease, but the way she didn't. Her fingers intertwined with someone else's, a subtle grip that immediately twisted my stomach into knots. And then she looked up at me, eyes not pleading, not apologetic, but sharp, cold, triumphant. "I'm leaving you," she said, her voice steady, almost rehearsed. For a real man, time froze. Her words hammered against me, echoing in a hollow chamber of my chest. A real man? I blinked, struggling to comprehend how the woman I loved, the one I had built a life with for 7 years, could reduce our marriage to a punchline like this. I opened my mouth, but no words came. All I could do was watch, frozen, as her co-worker, tall, broad-shouldered, a stranger to me until tonight, smirked and let his hand linger in hers. The day had started like any other Friday. I left early from work to surprise her with tickets for a weekend getaway, imagining the look on her face, the laughter we'd share in a cabin tucked away from the world. But as I approached the house, I noticed a car I didn't recognize in the driveway. A fleeting thought brushed my mind. Maybe it was a client, someone from her team. I pushed it aside. I should have listened to the small voice gnawing at the back of my mind. Inside, the scent of her perfume mixed with something else. Coffee? Or was it the faint musk of someone else's cologne lingering in the air? I couldn't tell. My hands tightened into fists, nails digging into my palms as I tried to force calm. "Emily?" My voice cracked, hesitant. She didn't answer right away. She just looked at me, and the distance in her gaze was a chasm I hadn't seen before. Then she spoke, the words like acid burning through everything we had built. "Alex, we need to talk." A chill ran down my spine. We had never had these talks. Not like this. Not with her hand held in someone else's. I don't understand. I managed, my throat tight. "Talk about what?" She let out a soft, almost mocking laugh. "About us. About you. About me. About how I've been living a lie." I wanted to deny it, to tell myself this was a joke, a cruel trick. I wanted to believe that my heart, pounding so violently, was just overreacting. But deep down, I knew the truth had been there all along, whispered in fleeting glances at her phone, in late nights at the office, in laughter that didn't reach her eyes when I was around. I had ignored it. I had made excuses. What do you mean?" My voice shook, but I forced myself to stay present. I needed to hear it. I needed to know. "I've met someone," she said simply. No hesitation, no shame, just the raw, unbearable honesty of betrayal. Someone who makes me feel alive. He's real, he's strong, and he sees me in ways you never did. I felt my chest tighten. Everything I thought I knew about our marriage seemed to crumble, grain by grain, into dust. My mind raced, replaying moments, searching for signs I'd ignored. Was it the way she stopped laughing at my jokes? The way she always seemed distracted, even when we were supposed to be together? I had seen the warning lights, but I had chosen comfort over confrontation. And now, that choice had cost me everything. I can't believe this. I whispered, my voice barely audible. Rage, grief, disbelief, all colliding inside me like a storm. After everything we've been through, after all the nights I stayed up worrying about you, about us, you're leaving me for him? Her expression softened. No, not softened. She looked smug, almost triumphant. "Yes, and you should know, Alex, I've been thinking about this for a long time. You were comfortable, predictable. He challenges me. He excites me. I need that. You never gave me that." I stumbled backward, my back hitting the couch. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to make her feel the pain she was inflicting on me, but the words lodged in my throat. Instead, I studied her face, the lines of her mouth, the way her eyes sparkled with confidence I had never been able to cultivate in her gaze. And I realized with a cold clarity that this wasn't about me failing her. It was about her refusing to see the life we had built as something worth protecting. "You're leaving?" I asked, voice barely above a whisper. "Just like that?" "Yes." She squeezed his hand one last time before letting it go, as if our marriage were nothing more than a prop she could discard when a better story came along. I swallowed the lump in my throat, my vision blurred with unshed tears. I loved you, I said finally, the words breaking the air like fragile glass. I loved you every day, in ways you'll never understand. And this is how you repay me. She looked away, almost bored. I don't think of it as repayment. I think of it as growth. For both of us. You'll see one day. You'll understand. And just like that, she walked away, leaving me standing in the ruins of our home, the echo of her footsteps a cruel metronome marking the end of everything. The days that followed were a blur of emptiness. I moved through them in a haze, haunted by memories of laughter, warmth, and shared dreams. Friends tried to console me, but their words were hollow, incapable of filling the void she had left. I avoided her messages, her calls, anything that could tether me to the pain. I had to survive this, not for her, not for him, but for me. I began to piece together the evidence I had ignored for so long. Emails, whispered phone calls, sudden late nights. Each discovery was a fresh wound, yet also a strange form of clarity. I had been blind, yes, but I was no longer naive. I could see the full scope of betrayal, and while it hurt, it also freed me. Freed me to stop excusing the lies, to stop pretending that her love had been real, when it had been conditional, fleeting, self-serving. Weeks passed. Healing was not linear. Some nights, I slept with a heavy ache of loneliness pressing against my ribs. Other nights, I felt a quiet resolve settle over me. I realized that the life I thought I had lost was actually a life I had been too blind to appreciate until it had been stripped away. And then, one evening, as I was locking up the apartment after work, I noticed something, a familiar scent, her perfume, faint but unmistakable. I froze, heart racing. But instead of dread, I felt something else. Relief. I no longer needed her presence to validate my existence. I had survived her betrayal. I had survived her leaving. And though the scars would remain, they were proof that I had endured, that I had risen from the wreckage stronger, wiser, and unshackled from a love that had been more illusion than truth. She had thought she could break me. She had thought her words, her smirk, her new life would haunt me forever. But all she had done was teach me what I was capable of without her. And in that bitter, beautiful clarity, I found a strength I had never known. I whispered to the empty room, a silent farewell to the past. Goodbye, Emily, and thank you for finally letting me see the truth. The room was quiet, the shadows long and soft, and for the first time in months, I felt the faintest stirrings of peace.